Hi everyone, I'm Matt Robbins and I'm the founder of DeansList. Thank you so much for coming out today. DeansList is operations software for schools. We help schools streamline all of their rules and data management into one single platform so that they can help students succeed. Everything we do at DeansList is based on one simple idea, that educator time is the scarcest resource in any school. We work with schools around the country. By and large, we work with underserved and low-income schools in urban areas. And what administrators repeatedly tell us is that they need to give their teachers more time to spend working with individual students and take away all of the busy work, which often relates to data entry and data tabulation. And that's what we do with DeansList. If you think about all of the different types of data that teachers and administrators are expected to look at, it's obviously grades and assessments, but it's also behavior in the classroom, attendance. Are our kids missing too much school? Homework completion, referrals and incidents. How often are we sending our students out of class? How often, for what reason, and how much time in class are they missing? And communication with families. Are we doing the most to maximize our parent-student relationships and make them a partner in their children's education? Right now, all of this data exists in different places. Grades lives in a student information system. Behavior, attendance, and homework. It's often tracked in Google Docs and Excel spreadsheets. It's incredibly inefficient. Referrals to the office and parent communication, if it's tracked at all, it's on paper forms or in teachers' notebooks. None of this information talks to each other. With DeansList, we wrap ourselves around a student information system and pull all of that information right out. So everyone in the school has access to all of this information in one place. We give teachers quick ways to track all of the things that are going on in their classroom, like behavior, attendance, and homework. So a teacher can recognize when a student has had a great day and has demonstrated positive core values like perseverance, diligence, or grit. When they need to be held accountable because they're demonstrating behaviors that are going to hold them back. We also give teachers better tools to track the conversations they're having with families, almost like Salesforce for schools. So first off, they have quick access to basic information, like what a parent's phone number is, what their parent's home language is, any special needs a child has. Maybe they're an English language learner or they're a special education student, and what the parent's communication preferences is. This information sounds pretty basic, but when it comes down to a teacher who has a limited amount of time between classes to make a few phone calls, having the right information makes all the difference in whether or not they're going to use their time effectively. We're also going to give them information so they can see all of the previous conversations that a teacher has had with that parent, not just them, but every teacher in the school, so that when they get on the phone with the parent, they're speaking from an informed place and they're going to build trust with that family. Throughout the day, we're constantly tabulating data according to a school's rules so that school structures automate themselves. So teachers know quickly which students have to stay late today because they've earned a detention, who's earned specific incentive programs like a dress down day on Friday. How's my classroom doing versus the classroom next door? Or how are we doing today versus last week? All of these tiny 3-second views of the data give teachers little bits of information they need to make minor adjustments throughout the day, and they can change the tenor of a school day or the tenor of their relationship with an individual student. We also give administrators the ability to pivot data and do a deep dive across their entire school within individual classes or within individual grades to really pinpoint exactly where their attention is needed and how they can best change what's going on in their school to improve things. But we know that our teachers are really busy and they just don't have time to log into the system every day, so we're constantly sending out proactive alerts to everyone in a school. Administrators get real-time alerts via text message so they can respond in the moment wherever they're needed across campus. And teachers get nightly digests every night so they know exactly how all of their students are doing across the school. This allows them to be proactive, and rather than waiting until a student has hit a threshold where they're just not going to be able to come back, where they've missed too much school or they're too far behind in an individual lesson, they can sit with students well before that happens and make sure that they're doing the right things to keep them afloat. And lastly, we work with schools to send home better communication to families. Right now, there are 3 primary ways that schools transmit information to parents. There's the parent-teacher conference. There are phone calls home, which too often only happen when there's something going wrong. And then there's report cards and progress reports. Now, the first 2 of those are incredibly important because there's nothing that replaces a one-on-one conversation between an educator and a parent. But the problem is that just doesn't scale. We can't ask our teachers to make 1,000 phone calls every night. They'll just burn out. So what we need to do is send better information home on a regular basis so that when teachers do have time to call or when it is parent-teacher conference night, they're not starting at the beginning. Parents have a clear understanding of what's been going on with their students all trimester long, all semester long. So with DeansList, we're reinventing the progress report. We send it home every single week, and it's customized to be exactly what the school wants their parents to see, what they want parents and students to talk about every single weekend. At some schools, we'll highlight current progress on homework, attendance, and grades. So parents know exactly how their kids are doing in each class, and they know exactly which assignments students need to catch up on over the weekend so they can be handed in on Monday. A lot of our schools are embracing personalized learning and using a lot of blended learning programs. But parents feel like kids come home and they get online and they don't know exactly how their kids are doing. They're not seeing real-time progress. So we'll import that data and include it on these reports as well. So parents can see week-over-week progress as well as progress throughout the entire school year and know if their students are on track and know where they can help. And then lastly, lots of the schools we work with serve a high percentage of families where English is not their first language. And our schools work so hard to make sure that they're not marginalizing these families. So what we do there is we translate these reports into a second language. So the information the school is sending home is not an even playing field for everyone, and all parents are getting the same information. Overall, everything we do at DeansList is designed to help teachers save time and automate the tricky parts of being a teacher so teachers have more time to help students. And I'd be happy to chat with anybody after. Thank you.